All right, everyone. What an exciting day to be alive. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, Deborah. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you here for the first official opening ceremony of your year-long program. Shannon Fisher's in the house. Hi, Shannon.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Oh my God. Congratulations. It's opening ceremony day. We are so excited to be here with you. Only a few days ago, you made a powerful decision to be here. What an up level. Seriously. I'm going to bring Sage back on in a moment, but I want to just congratulate you on your commitment. This has never been a better time to give your gifts on the planet. Right now, the world is changing and we need you leading. Entrepreneurship is the way of the future. I get so excited about this and seeing all of you here committed. Support. This is your support in your business. You signed up for it. We are so thrilled. And support equals success. You're going to get formulas, proven formulas that our clients have used, that we have used to grow business and to change the world. This is going to be able to increase your income $1,500 to $10,000 a month. Yes, you all have your bill from last week. Post it up where you can see it. That's happening. So, who has been working on a course that they want to offer already? I want to see your hands. Raise your hand. Awesome. Yes, good. Glad to see that. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get you guys all ready to go on what your courses are going to be. This is just an up level signing up for you. It's no accident that you're here. This is such an incredible group. Imagine the power of the women who are choosing to up level at this time on the planet. Oh, goosebumps. So a couple more women jumped in this week. We're welcoming everybody today. We're going to get to know each other this month on Facebook, in your Facebook groups. So today during the call, what we're going to do is we're going to orient you to the year together ahead. We're going to help you clarify your message. I bet you guys have questions about that. And we're going to get you started with making video offers. Super hot. So right now, I just want you to lean into the camera like I am. I want you to look into each other's eyes.
And make sure you're on gallery mode. In the upper right-hand corner, you guys can click to make sure you can see everybody's little beautiful face for a moment.
Thank you. Yeah, get in gallery mode, put your camera on, lean in. This is your sisterhood right here. This is the support that you chose. Just receive this reflection. Look at the other women. Be willing to look into each other's eyes. Be willing to be seen. This is the very first baby step in showing up and getting visible, which is what your business wants. So let yourself be seen here first. Give us a little sparkle fingers. Let us know you're there. We're not doing this alone.
And let's actually unmute ourselves and do a little wahoo, you did it. Ow, ow, ow.
Woo! You did it!
We're here with noodles.
So beautiful.
We did it.
We did it. All right, now we're going to practice muting yourselves again. There you go.
Mute yourselves back up. Shannon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Perfect. Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm back. So like I said, we're going to bring Sage on in a moment. But first, I know you guys met Deborah at the event last week, and many of you know her from the exquisite support and training she gave you in Launch Your Movement. And I want to be sure she has a chance to welcome you here. Hey, Deborah.
Hello, hello, ladies. I'm so happy to see so many of you Launch Your Movement sisters and all you beautiful new ladies whose faces I'm going to get to know over this coming year. And just congratulations. Congratulations for saying yes to you. Congratulations for saying yes to your clients. Congratulations for stepping into leadership in this time. It has never been a better time to say yes to yourself and your clients and stretching. And, you know, I did leverage a bunch of years ago now, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made for my business, because before Leverage, I was definitely undercharging. I was not using my time well. I wasn't packaging my offerings, and Leverage gave me so much support around not just the skill set, the mindset too, because for me, there was a huge change that needed to happen in here so that I could offer even more to my clients. And so one of the great things that came from my journey with Leverage was saying yes to co-facilitating with my husband to do couples coaching work. And I'd been coaching couples as a single, but I really needed the support and the community to say yes to something even greater. And so Leverage was a massive, massive gift in my life and to my clients' lives and to me and my husband and our love life together. So I just, from a very personal place of having benefited from Leverage, I feel so wonderfully happy for all of you saying yes to leadership and Leverage. And I know that my life wouldn't be in the place it is, and I wouldn't be serving in the way that I am without it. And I know that's going to be true for all of you. And, you know, one of the pieces I want to acknowledge, and all of the ladies in Launch Your Movement, I bow to the ongoing stretching you did. And that's what I want for all of you to just know at the beginning of this journey. This journey is going to be inviting you to stretch on a very regular basis. And stretching, there's nothing wrong with the discomfort from stretching. And we've got to learn to befriend the discomfort and to keep trusting. Discomfort doesn't mean there's anything wrong. Discomfort means take a big breath, move into it, open, say yes, and just know the next time you go to do that thing that you're doing right now, it's going to be easier. So all my love and blessings for this journey for us to all go on together this year. And I look so forward to supporting you, stretching, celebrating your victories and clarifying your messages. And I've seen our clients over the last many years use these exact same skills and tools that we're giving you and create amazing results in their businesses and massive transformation in their clients' lives. And there's never been a better time to be activating transformation in people's lives than right now. So here we go. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Shannon. I know we've got some great announcements for you, and then we will get to have the great Fearless Leader Sage Levine be joining us after our announcements.
Thanks, Deborah. Already dropping your golden nuggets for us. Loving that. So yes, we're going to be giving you guys announcements, and it's super important on these calls. Really, every call that you get on with us, we're going to give you guys what we want you to know and prioritize next. So I recommend that you write these dates and information down that we give you in announcements so that you can really stay current with where we want to see you. First things I just want to say is you're going to get access to your member site pretty soon. I don't know that you've had access yet, but I want you to know it's coming. So you'll get oriented to that. In the member site, you're going to have a whole welcome page of taking you through the steps to do that. So we're going to be sending that over to you soon. Now, ELA and our leadership and our leverage classes, we're welcoming you together on this call. We also have some transfers that are joining us from last year. So I just want to welcome back Virginia Sanchez, Letitia De Simone, Deborah Straw, Jamie Rosin. Welcome back, ladies. We're super excited to have you. And your handouts for this call are going to be found in your email, and they're also going to be in your Facebook group files. So if you go to your Facebook group for either leadership or leverage and you click on files, you'll find your handouts for today. Going forward, once you get into your member site, you're going to have access to all of your program materials there as well. Okay, those are going to be open on September, let's see, they'll be opening before your September 29th VIP day. So that's what I want to let you guys know that's happening next. Your VIP day is next week, Tuesday, 1 week from right now, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific, September 29th. next week. So we're going to be sending you out email reminders. You can also find this in your member site when it opens. Our topic, we're going to do 10 steps to magnetize new clients and recession-proof your business model training. Super hot content that came out of our big pivots this year. You guys aren't going to want to miss this. This is going to be the motivation and the mindset that you need to get yourself started. So your handouts will be in your email. They'll also be in your Facebook group again for next week's call. Okay, next really hot announcement is we have a client retreat. If you liked last week's retreat, hello, super powerful. We have one coming and it's just for you. It's not open to the public. These are your program retreats. We want you to save the date, November 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're going to be having our retreats, and it will be virtual. So more information to come on that. You'll have a whole events tab in your member site to check out where we're going to give you all the goodies on what you need for that. But for now, save those dates. Okay, so once you're into your member site, as I mentioned, you're going to want to go to your welcome tab. It's probably the first tab that's going to pop up. And you're going to check your email for how to log into that member site. And you're going to go to your welcome tab and you're going to watch all of your important intro videos. In addition to what we share with you today, we're going to give you strategy today. We're going to give you mindset today. In addition to what we share with you today, you're going to want to make sure you really spend some time on that welcome tab, just getting oriented to the details of how to access your materials and where to go to get support in the program. So make sure that you're checking on that. Okay, contracts. You should all have your contracts in your inbox. If you're missing your contract, definitely check your spam. In fact, you want to check your spam and make sure nothing that we have sent you in the last week is in there. If it is, you want to add support at sagelevine.com to your contacts list. This will help make sure that all of the things that we're sending you are landing right in your inbox for you. If you're still having a hard time finding things, please email support at sagelevine.com and we'll make sure that it gets to you. So your Facebook groups are up. We want to make sure, most of you have joined, we want to make sure that you're joining the Facebook group as soon as possible this week to introduce yourself. We're also going to give you something super juicy to do in there this week. And there is a pinned video. So everything we want you to see that's most important is always pinned to the top of your group. So that's the very first post that's going to stay up there no matter how you scroll. That video is a Sage video at the top. We want you to make sure that you watch that and read the first comment and be looking for buddies in the group. So we'll be talking about that a little bit today too, how to find a buddy and what to do with your buddy. Okay, let's see. I think that is good enough for right now. That's a lot of announcements for all of you. So I want to bring Sage on. And Sage, I just want to say thank you for being who you were for us last week on that amazing, I'm still high from that event. Thank you for being a leader in uncertain times. Thank you for saying all the things that we most need to hear. Thanks you for bringing us all together today. So without further ado, Sage Levine.
We did it, ladies. We did it. Nice deep breath, everyone. Feel yourself in your chair. Feel yourself behind your computer. Feel yourself landed with this incredible sisterhood. It's really important to land on these calls. Give yourself the gift of being absolutely present here. There's going to be part of you that thinks you should be multitasking. There's going to be part of you that thinks you should be busy. And I'm here to remind you that the most successful people on the planet are incredibly present with everything they're doing. I'm going to invite you to head over into your Facebook groups and let us know what it is that you are celebrating a year from now. You'll find a post in your group that's purple. And I'm going to invite you to think about it's a year from now. It's September 22nd, the year 2021. I'm going to invite you to consider what it is that you're celebrating. Melissa says she's celebrating serving clients that she loves, stepping into a new story about financial freedom. All we need is a sentence. Nancy says she's celebrating having published 2 books. She's launched her program on how to stop dating narcissists, and her business has taken off. Elizabeth says that she is celebrating helping women step on to the rise of the divine feminine path. I love these. Kay says that she's celebrating the release of her JOB and the full stepping into and fully embracing her business. We're going to be keeping an eye on the Leverage Facebook group and the Leadership Facebook group to celebrate alongside you what it is that you are celebrating a year from now. Because as we dive into strategy today and as we dive into mindset today, we are going to invite you to keep that vision forefront in your mind so that you can allow that vision to pull you forward. And again, all we need is a sentence. All we need is one thing that you can see a year from now. The year is 2021, and you're looking back and thanking the one in you who showed up for this opening ceremony today. Jessica Green in Leverage says that she's celebrating being completely fulfilled and up-leveled in her world, I'm imagining, and in her business as well, and in your life. I love that, Jessica Green. You might have noticed that we turned off the chat because we are encouraging you to connect with each other on Facebook. One of the amazing things about connecting on Facebook is that you can stay in touch with each other after the call hangs up. Does that make sense? We're inviting you for today, since we're just landing here on our opening ceremony, to be truly present with each other and to be supporting and connecting over in your Leverage and Leadership Facebook groups so that you can make dates to connect after this call, create some times to set up buddy practice sessions, and to really start networking and getting to know each other. Wendy's creating 6 figures in her business a year from now. Denise is, ooh, great. Denise, this is a perfect book title. It's called Becoming Sage, a daybook for the wise soul. Yay, published by Hay House. I love it. You chose the right mentor based on the name of your book. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to also invite you to take notes alongside us and to notice what we're doing through the lens of the content we're teaching and how we are laying it out. Raise your hand if you would love to have some kind of a group a year from now. Raise your hand high, some kind of a group, whether it's 4 people or 10 people or 20 people. Even if you are looking to just fill your private practice, you're still going to be fine-tuning your first sort of onboarding session with your clients. Does that make sense, you guys? You, as you develop your programs, are going to be developing these sort of orientation sessions, right? You can call it an opening ceremony. You can call it a jumpstart session. But the things that we're going to be laying out for you today are important things to take notes on in terms of you starting to think about, how am I going to structure my onboarding session? Even if it's with a private client, raise your hand if you've ever done a first session with a private client and you've wondered, what really should I be doing in this session, right? That first session, you're laying down so much framework and so much groundwork. So pay attention to what we're doing today, and I recommend doing something similar with your clients as well. Let's talk about some success tips. One of the things I recommend you guys do in your virtual events is I recommend that you, on your virtual training calls, create a variety of visual experiences for your clients where you're not just talking the whole time. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down with that? To really create a variety of experiences, right? A variety of ways to reach people. And one of the things that you can do that's really simple is you can get a flip chart, like $50 and a few markers, and you can take notes alongside your clients. Ask them to spotlight your video and make you big. And that way, you can literally be taking notes alongside your clients, and it really creates a kind of engagement that's much different than just talking to the camera. This is something you guys can all do. For those of you that don't have a flip chart or you're on a tight budget, another thing you can do is you can take notes along with your clients on a simple clipboard. Does that make sense, you guys? You can get yourself a clipboard and a piece of white paper. Even for your Facebook live videos or your Facebook videos or social media videos, Instagram videos, it's very engaging to hold something up where you've written some notes, or to do a simple screen share the way that we did when we showed you our Facebook group. So these are all things you're going to be learning to do yourself. Let's talk about the success tips. And as we go through these, we're going to be continuing to reference you guys and get to know you guys. The first success tip is to get organized. Like Shannon was saying, by next Tuesday, we're going to be diving into the VIP day together, and you will have access to your member forum. I want to thank you for your patience with us in getting your member forum up. The reason why it's taking a few extra days is because we literally re-engineered a bunch of the video trainings, and we did, you know, we basically created really content-rich and engaging video trainings for your launch mini course. Our videographer put the finishing touches on those over the weekend. And we basically wanted that member forum to be the best member forum any of our clients have ever gone into, and experienced the content new, fresh, and full of all the handouts and templates that you'll need. So you'll have that by Monday. And for now, what I recommend you guys do is to head over to your welcome email. And this is something that you guys can do with your clients, by the way. I think I mentioned last week that you can literally run your paid programs inside of Facebook if you want to, as a simple way to get up and running. You can add handouts to Facebook. You can add your clients to a private Facebook group. You can share handouts and dates by emails for those of you that are wanting to get up and running on a budget. But you all got an email, and it looks something like this, with a complete list of all of the calls for the next 6 weeks. So that the very first thing that you guys can do is to make sure that you put all of these call times in your calendar. I recommend you take a few minutes today to make sure you plug all of those in. And like Shannon was saying, the Rock Your Stage speaker retreat, November 18th through the 20th. Now, you all use all kinds of different calendars. Some of you guys are in Google Calendar. Some of you guys are in iCalendar. Some of you guys still use pen to paper. Regardless of what you use, we want to make sure you do go in and plug all of those call times in your calendar, because what we found is that our clients that are present on the most calls are our most successful clients. It's probably not that much of a surprise. There's something very powerful about being on the live calls. Deborah, do you want to talk a little bit about the second success tip?
Yeah, I'd love to. So ladies, one of the most important things that we want to support you in doing this year is staying out of overwhelm. And there are some very simple things that you can do to support yourself to stay out of overwhelm. So a couple of those things are, we like to call it taking an information diet. So many of us are subscribed to myriad different voices in the industry. And we want you to consider for this year unsubscribing from many of those other voices so that you're really focusing on the program that you've just invested in. Focus on Sage's coaching and your coach's coaching and the Women Rocking Business structures, because we want you to be creating a clear, simple, elegant business and prioritizing getting you in front of potential clients. And if you start mixing ingredients, it's a little bit like mixing French cuisine and Indian, and sometimes the flavors don't really jive, right? We don't want you to get confused. We don't want excess distractions. So unplug, unsubscribe so that you can really focus. And my private clients will often see me do this, whoosh, like this. When you start to feel yourself get distracted, just grab your hands, put them next to your eyes, and just pick one thing. Your coach is going to help you stay on your one next action step. So unsubscribe to stay out of overwhelm.
I could not agree more.
Sorry, I just lost you. I hit the wrong button and my Zoom meeting went.
And that's really the thing, you guys. That's really the thing that Shannon was saying and Deborah were saying at the beginning of the call, is that it's so important to get comfortable being uncomfortable, to be willing to stretch yourself, and to not think that you're a victim of your to-do list or of the feeling of overwhelm. Breathe into this, write this down, underline it. If you were to do 10% of what we lay out for you this year, you're going to get results. Take a breath into that. We see it all the time. Okay. So what I've found is that the bigger leadership I say yes to, the more I have to take care of myself. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you don't have a full practice yet. It doesn't matter if you don't have a huge business yet. If you're saying yes to big leadership, your self-care and how you treat yourself has to actually mirror that journey. You know, Shannon told me a story about one of our sisters who's here, Chantal Levin, who was with us years ago and who hopped back in. And, you know, Chantal's been on a healing journey. Chantal, if you want to share at the end of the call, I'd love to pull you on. But it's like, you guys are on a journey of full self-expression. You're on a journey of giving yourself to delivering a message in this lifetime. And so raise your hand if you'd be willing to be more gentle with yourself than you've ever been as a result of signing up for this program. Write this down. The more driven you are, general rule of thumb, the more driven you are, the more gentle you have to be with yourself. Okay? So if you haven't picked up the book, War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, this is highly recommended reading here at Women Rocking Business. Highly recommend you guys jot this down and grab a copy today. Listen to it in your earbuds. I like to have it by my bed because it's just these short little vignettes that basically are going to remind you that anything that you're resistant to is the path. Take a breath into that. Like a magnetized needle floating on the surface of the water, resistance will infallibly point in your true north. Raise your hand if you felt resistant to signing up for this program. Raise your hand if you had resistance come up around the investment. Raise your hand if you ever have resistance to getting on camera or seeing yourself on stage. But yet, those visions are there. Are you guys with me on that? The visions are there, right? The universe isn't giving you that vision haphazardly. So congratulations for trusting the deeper calling, and enjoy the book. I think you're going to love the book. So, right, the opportunity here is for you to bend, but to not break, and to allow the coaches to stretch you, right? To allow me as your coach, me as your trainer, the coaches, Leverage Sisters. You're going to be seeing a lot of Deborah. You're going to be seeing a lot of Megan Neely. You guys remember Megan from last week? ELA Sisters, you're going to be seeing a lot of Shannon and a lot of Serena and Claire, right? Shayna James is going to be popping into the, we'll actually have the coaches say hello in a few minutes. But you guys, trust me when I say, we're not trying to convince you of anything. We're not trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. We've been studying the way these businesses grow for over a decade. And we know that the plans we're laying out work. And we know that the plans that we're laying out are going to kick up resistance in you. And the good news is that in stretching into the action steps that you're going to be taking, the making videos, the making your offer, the telling people what you charge, asking for the sale, in stretching into that, what I get most excited about is who you're going to become in the process. Take a breath into that. Who you are going to become. A year from now, celebrating looking in the mirror and thinking to yourself, I'm stronger than I've ever been, and I'm more clear than I've ever been. I was looking back through some of the video footage from last night, and I got to have that from last week, and I got to have that experience for myself. I used to look at video footage of myself, and I hated, with a capital H, hated watching myself on video. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. And I promise you, if you will stay at this, you will have a moment where you look at yourself leading, and the self-love that you have for yourself will be nothing like you've ever experienced before. Mm-hmm. Looking at yourself, so proud, truly proud of yourself for not letting all the little details and all of the little things and the overwhelm and the technology and the logistics, for not letting any of that keep you down from giving your gift. I promise you, the self-love that is waiting on the other side of this will blow your mind. And then the love that you get to give to others, to your own clients, to your children, to your friends and your family, because you have that love for yourself. There's nothing like it. Shannon, you want to talk a little bit about getting connected and the Facebook groups?
Yes, your Facebook groups are your connection point. We want you guys really in there. Our Facebook groups are so loving, so giving. And so we're going to talk about how these work. They've already been really active. You'll notice over there. We appreciate every single one of you hopping in there and sharing your ideas and asking for support. We encourage you to do that. And I will tell you that one of the biggest things that makes a difference for you being successful with this group is actually asking for support. Like, really successful is going to be asking for support. So both from this group and also from the people in your lives. So it's going to be important for you to recognize what you need and ask for it. I know some of you may not like Facebook. I hear that from time to time. I myself have a love-hate relationship with it sometimes. But this is really your chance to practice. And, even with all the political stuff going on, or things we may hear about, social media and all of that, I want to encourage all of you to see this as a tool and to let all of that politicizing go around social media or Facebook in general, and go, how can I use this tool in the most positive way possible? Because really, it's about connection. So this is super important. We want you to know that this is not a place for soliciting your services. We're not soliciting each other in this group, because we're really protecting ourselves and this group here for place. This is a place to be in discussion about your business, to brainstorm, to get feedback. You can do a poll on the titles that you want to offer for your next Facebook challenge. Perfect thing to do, but please do not solicit your services there. We also have, so I'm actually curious, how many of you actually love supporting other people? You'd much rather get into the Facebook group and give a bunch of feedback to the women who are asking for support. Raise your hand if that's you. You love giving feedback. Okay, great. Put your hands down. How many of you are great at posting and asking for support, but you forget to comment on each other's? No shame. You forget to comment on anybody else. Just be honest. How many of you are really great at posting and asking for support? Yeah. Okay. So just know, like, there's a spectrum here. No right or wrong. If you tend toward giving support, I want you to now raise your hand if you're willing to commit to remembering to post your own asks. This is huge. Raise your hand right now. If you would rather give support, I want you to raise your hand and commit to posting your own asks in that Facebook group. Thank you. I love that. Awesome. High five for you. And if you tend to be the one who posts your own asks, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand right now and commit to giving your sisters some more support. That means commenting on their posts, giving them feedback, loving them up. Awesome. So we see this actually works. We set this up with all of our clients and this actually works really well. You guys are going to make incredible connections with each other. And sometimes I get in there to give you guys some feedback and you guys have already given each other incredible feedback. So you're going to be getting a lot of excellent feedback from your sisters in here. Now, I do want to recommend that you use this tool wisely. And if you feel like you're getting sucked into it for too many hours a day, make sure that you put your boundaries around how you're using it, but always be in there asking as you're giving, right? So we actually have a 3-to-1 rule. That means for every post, every one post that you make, every ask that you make, you comment and give feedback to 3 of your sisters. As long as you're working with that rule, this group works. It's super connected and super helpful for all of us. And then you don't have to spend hours commenting on every single post. Make your ask, super important that you have an ask, and then comment on 3 of your sisters. That's our 3-to-1 rule. I also want to let you know that this is a gossip-free zone and we're super serious about that here. We have an amazing tribe of women, and this women's tribe is about collaboration over competition. And so we absolutely don't tolerate, the kind of gossip, and you'll see that these are really positive zones for your learning. What's going to make or break your success in this group is that you're not colluding and complaining with your sisters. And I'm just going to say that right here, right now, because we've all had these moments and we've all felt that way. That will literally take you down if you're colluding and complaining. I've had women who are really struggling with launching their business, and they're complaining about it with their sisters, and it really affects everybody involved there. So don't do it. Just a warning sign of like, don't let that be the thing that takes you down, and instead lift each other up. See the positive in each other, celebrate each other. We're going to be asking you all year to celebrate each other, to brag about your wins, even the baby steps that you make. We want you celebrating because that's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to lift you up and your sisters. So
I love it. Shannon, can I add something?
Yeah, please.
You guys, what Shannon means by this too is that you absolutely can be vulnerable, and we encourage you to be vulnerable in the Facebook group. Raise your hand if you know sometimes you're going to need to go somewhere and just be like, this is feeling hard today, or I got sick, or my son is freaking out, like whatever it is. Make sure you guys keep yourself muted out. Whatever it is, it's super important that you guys don't sit on those challenges all by yourself. But what Shannon's suggesting that you do is that you also frame those posts through the eyes of a leader. Okay? Leadership does not mean not being vulnerable. But what leadership does mean is not dragging other people down. Are you guys with me on that? So one of the things we always talk about is, are you willing to recommit at the end of every post? Write that down. And it's a wonderful way to keep your own Facebook groups positive as well, to recommit at the end of every post. That gives you permission to be like, I'm having the worst day ever. My computer crashed and my cats have fleas and I got a hemorrhoid and blah, blah, blah. And I missed my client call and then one of my clients fired me. And at the end of your post, you could be like, sisters, I know this is all happening for a reason, and I know that I'm becoming stronger in the process, and I'm going to get back out there tomorrow and go for this again, right? It's like there's a big difference between that post and a post that just is like, everything sucks, somebody rescue me, right? Are you guys with me? So what Shannon's suggesting that we do, and you're going to find that the couple hundred women that are already in the Leadership and Leverage program waiting for you with open arms. I know many of them have already been welcoming you. they're also going to be setting the stage for this, that when you guys connect with each other, yes, vent, yes, unload on each other, but don't hold each other as small, right? Rather than saying, I know that sucks, I'm struggling with that too. You can be like, I know it sucks, and I know we're going to get through this. I know this is figure outable. How can I support you? Because you're strong and you're so capable of this, right? To hold each other as resourced, hold each other as leaders. Now, I also want to invite you guys, when you're having those bad days, trust me when I say, you got to get into the group. How many people here will isolate and kind of put up the self-protection when you start having a crappy day? You start feeling internal, insular, kind of dark. There is something so life-changing about getting in a group like ours and just loving up a few other people. See what people have posted, love them up, tell them they can do it, and then guess what's going to start happening inside of you? You're going to start feeling a little better and a little better and a little better. And then you may even coax yourself into posting your own post and asking for your own help, which is the single most powerful thing you can do. Write this down. When you feel trapped in darkness, show up in service. It's counterintuitive, but I don't know anything that is as effective as showing up for other people when you're wanting to wake yourself up out of the crud, right? Because trust me when I say, and I said this last week, being mission driven is a privilege. Wouldn't you agree? What a privilege that we can be here in the middle of a day or even watching the replay. What a privilege that we can be here actually asking the question, how do I want to make a living? Do you know how many people on the planet could never even have the bandwidth or the resources or the opportunity to even ask that question of themselves? So nice deep breath into that. We're so grateful. And what I know is that gratitude brings more abundance. That brings me to success tip number 4. Drum roll, please. Actually, before I do that, I want to actually take a few shares. Who has this course working on you already? How many of you guys have noticed that you've started to get worked over just by signing up? You're like, oh, gremlin voices coming in. Oh, what have I done again? And who wants to share just one sentence of what you're most excited about in the midst of all of what's happening? Julia, what do you got? One sentence, what you're most excited about.
That I have a sisterhood. I have been around a lot of men in the business, and Sage, you've been a part of my world for a while, and I'm just so stoked to have women to support me this go around. So thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you.
Oh, women are the best. Let's sparkle for Julia.
Thanks,
Women
ladies.
are the best. We've got you.
Yeah, I know.
Proud of you. And you guys, when you start, you're going to start getting to know each other today. And so like we mean business when we say, go over into your Facebook groups and notice what women are posting. Notice what women are celebrating. Having 6 new clients celebrating, fulfilling their soul's calling. Oh my gosh, right? Here's somebody who's going to be supporting parents. I'm thinking about supporting parents. Let's get a call on the calendar, right? There's nobody off limits here. Everybody is now your sisterhood. And so part of your assignment this week is going to be to reach out between 1, 2, 3 other sisters and get some calls on the calendar. I would recommend leaning toward being a little heavy on the reach outs in the first couple months of the program, because once you have a few more phone numbers in your phone, a few more women that you've connected with one-on-one individually, right? Then of course you'll start to feel like you have that. But now's the time to do it. Sonia, what are you most excited about? One sentence.
I'm excited to see what is going to happen just from the 3 days of doing the retreat. I'm blown away. I'm blown away, like how it was cracked open. I'm going to say ambition, the focus, the drive. I'm just waking up with so much motivation and resistance But just from that, I'm just like, I'm open to receive the transformation and saying yes to my journey.
I'm so excited for you. Sparkle for Sonia. And when I first started my business, I had this written on a Post-it. It said, I am ambitious, because I had never fully embraced it before. Can anybody relate to that? Some of you guys are like, I've known I'm ambitious for years. When I first started my business, like somebody said, you're really ambitious. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I think I'm ambitious. Right. And it was like this whole love-hate relationship, and so, be ready to surround yourself with new affirmations, new Post-it notes, right? I've got a certain mirror in my bedroom that's always covered in the most recent affirmations. Get your sign front and center. Let yourself have this moment as an identity transformation, right? Let yourself grieve that who like that which you no longer are. I remember one day I had to take the day off and just cry for the fact that I was never going to probably be a school teacher again in the schools. There were things about that I loved. I loved getting up early and making my cup of herbal coffee and hanging out with the other teachers in the copy lounge and photocopying all my, worksheets for my students. And, there were certain little routines that I had that had become a part of me. Well, I was creating new routines, and new routines included spiffing up my office and figuring out what I wanted to have behind me when I led Zoom calls and videos, and, surrounding myself with new relationships. And so, right, let yourself like digest this transformation rather than pretending that it's not happening, right? I love this, Sonia. Tatina, what about you? One sentence, what you're most excited about. Let's get you unmuted. There you go. Oh,
Me? Which Tina?
Tatina Van Horn.
Oh,
The one with the stutter, Tatina.
And Tina Hong, by the way, it's great to see you too. We'll get you on here if you want to be.
All right. I just love what you said about ambition. I'm the jeweler in the group and actually make these little Chinese characters. And the character for ambition is actually becoming scholarly with your heart is actually the definition, which is the one that I really feel is appropriate for this. I'm getting really teary. I'm so excited, Sage.
Oh, sweetheart.
This is really stepping into something I don't think I felt was possible. And I so want to be part of this ecosystem that supports all of you, including myself, to do this.
The ecosystem has never been stronger. And I have goosebumps when I think about what this ecosystem is going to be a year from now with all of you and the powerhouse women and the heartful, soulful, and super smart women that have come into these groups this year. So sparkle for Tatina.
High caliber, I might add, really high caliber.
Yeah, you guys, you want to get to know each other. Trust me when I say there were a few women that applied that just weren't a fit. We've done a lot of our homework in terms of really making sure this group is high caliber. And trust me when I say you want to get to know each other. So spend some time, going through the Facebook group and looking at women's posts and reaching out to each other. Let's hear from Marsha, our incredible winner, powerhouse woman over there. Some of you will recognize her from last week.
No crying today, yay.
Hey, we never celebrate lack of tears. Tears are a beautiful thing around here, and we love you.
And let me start by saying thanks. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Sage. And thank you to the whole team. The one sentence for me is, I am the average of the 5 women around me, and now I have like 100 around me. So can we imagine how high we're going to go?
Oh, it is true. It is true. You will up-level yourself by getting to know these incredible women who are not backing down on their dreams, because what oftentimes happens out in the world, as we all know, is quite a bit of complacency and some mediocrity. And it takes courage and stamina and grit to commit and recommit to your dreams over and over. And Marsha, we are so proud to be the hundreds of women around you. Let's give her the sparkle. I love it. All right, we have time for one or two more. Devashi, what is your one sentence, what you're most excited about?
Good morning, Sage. Good morning, everyone.
So I think being much more connected to my heart and to the women in the group, because I haven't had that, like the first gal had said. Being able to support one another and feel more confident and sure of myself and more connected, because I've never thought it was a possibility to have my dreams.
I love that. Sparkle for Devashi. One of the things I do really want to underline is there's an integration that happens in your life as you build these businesses. It's like you don't have to have your work separate from your heart, separate from your relationship. And even though it took me several years to start feeling like I really had integrated, I will tell you today, I would say it's probably the number one thing I'm most grateful for. I love my clients. I love my team. I love making money. I love giving back to the girls in Uganda and to the girls in inner city San Francisco. But the thing that gives me the most peace and joy is just getting to be who I am everywhere I am. I don't have to turn any part of me off to work for somebody else or to make money or to be in certain relationships. I'm so proud of you all for signing up for this. Your whole life shifts. I'm trying not to cry right now. Okay, Maria Keaton, let's get a sentence from you, what you're most excited about.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Aloha. Oh, so cool. Thank you. Okay. So for me, it's to become a leader.
Yep.
Because, I feel the leader in me, but it's kind of hiding. It's like a fire in the container.
Yep. Yep.
So I want to unleash that fire. And I'm so excited about it. It's fantastic.
There is no greater path of leadership than starting your own business. There just isn't. It's the best way I've ever found. I mean, having kids teaches you to be a certain type of leader, and birthing a business teaches you to be, it teaches leadership like no other. Sparkle for Marina. So good to hear you, sweetheart. So, sisters, notice that on this call, we're toggling back and forth between giving you some tangible information and opening up the lines. This is how we recommend you guys structure your calls too, right? So that people are getting value right away. There's structure, write that down. Money loves order, right? People invest where they can see structure is happening. Right? We're going to be helping you create some more structures in your business next week during the VIP day, big time. We're going to go through several structures that are going to really help you get clients. And remember, the cool thing about structures is that you're making them up. You get to make them up. Don't think about them too much. Be willing to create structures and steps and be willing to make it up and trust yourself, because you can always re-engineer it. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? So we want to talk a little bit about coaching for just a few minutes. And one of the things I want to really emphasize is this concept of inviting you to just really be willing to take the coaching. My cat agrees with me, by the way, if you can hear him in the background. Take the coaching. Like, you're not always going to love the coaching. But be willing to find that place where what you know is true and what your coach is recommending can merge, right? Because we're not asking you to trust us above yourself, but what we're asking is to write this down, be willing to imitate, and then innovate. Because what we've seen is that women who want to do it all their way, they think there must be an easier way. I want to do it a different way. The way they're suggesting isn't going to work for me. We're going to invite you to just challenge those thoughts or stories that might come up. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Be willing to challenge the story inside of your own head of, what if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm not like those other women? What if, right? Blah, blah, blah. Raise your hand if you know you have a relationship with authority that is probably going to be rewritten as you grow these businesses. Right? How many of us have had authority figures in our lives who didn't, oh gosh, my heart breaks, right? Authority figures who didn't honor what that really means to be an authority. Like, the word that I have now when I think about authority and my own inner authority, the word I've been working with lately is reverence. And so as you allow yourself to get comfortable surrendering to being led by your coaches and as you allow yourself that gift, breathe into this, to be with us all year long, no hair on fire, okay, no beating yourself up. You have the whole year to build your businesses. We're going to be with you all year long. Breathe into that. As you allow that, you allow yourself to receive the gift that you've now given yourself. You can also, in my experience, start to soften your relationship with authority, embrace your own inner authority, and heal any parts of you that may need healing, because you are stepping into being an authority to others. Breathe into that. You are stepping into being an authority to others in bigger ways. And we have the whole year. We've got you. And so we have some amazing coaches that we want to introduce to you in a moment. And in the meantime, while we're waiting to make sure they're all on the line, Shannon, will you remind everyone at what point they can grab their coaching assignment and get those initial sessions booked with their coaches?
Yes, happy to. So you're going to want to make sure you take a few notes about what I say here. First things first is you're getting assigned a coach. You're turning in your surveys and your coaching assignments are on their way. I'm going to promise them to you in the next 24 hours. So you're going to get an email in your inbox with your actual coaching assignment and a link to book with them. Now, your first session is going to be a 1-hour jumpstart. That's your very first session. And in this session, we're going to deep dive into your message with you. And we're also going to be going over a success tracker with you. So you're going to get all this information when you get your coaching assignment. The success tracker is something that we're going to use all year to look at where you're at on the business building map, and where you're going next. So you're going to want to pay close attention to that. You're also going to be filling out a coaching prep form every time you book with your coaches. So it's right there in the booking link. It's going to take you through a series of questions that helps us orient to where you're at and what you need in a particular session. So we're really paying attention and tracking you session to session. I really recommend you get your coaching up front. I would use them monthly. I would not save them up, because when at the beginning of the program right now is when you most need the coaching, and your coaching sessions do have expiration dates. So make sure you pay attention to that. The main thing is when you're using them monthly, you're really going to get the motivation and the continuity you need to really get yourself going. And we make it super affordable if you want to buy extra coaching. So the beauty of being in our year-long programs is you get full access to our coaches. And I have women ask me all the time if they can get coaching outside of the programs who aren't in our year-long programs, and the answer is no. So take advantage of these coaching sessions, because you're the ones that have access to our amazing coaches who have all been with us for many years. Your member site has a coaching tab that's going to reiterate everything I've just shared with you. So from there, Sage, what do you got? Our coaches here yet?
I want to add that by the time the program is halfway through and 3/4 of the way through, you guys are going to know more stuff. You're going to be more connected to the other students here. Does that make sense? And that's why Shannon's saying use the coaching up front. now is when you need it. Plus, we have many women by month 3, 5, 6. They're making really great money. They've used a bunch of their coaching. They're making great money. So they purchase more coaching sessions, right? Let's actually hear from a few of our coaches and just, you've already gotten to meet Deborah and Shannon, but let's just pull whoever is here on to give a 1 or 2 sentence words of advice or encouragement to have an incredible year. Would that be helpful, you guys, to just hear what our coaches think, why they coach for us and not someone else? Most of our coaches are our graduates. Let's give them a big wahoo on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3 for our coaches. Ow, 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 ow.
So coaches, thank you so much.
Let's start with Serena Andrea. Is Serena here? Actually, let's start with Megan Neely. Is Megan Neely here? Let's get you unmuted.
Yes.
And say hi. There she is.
Hello, beautiful beings. Congratulations for saying yes to yourselves. What a big step you've taken for yourself, your business, your future clients. And as Sage said, many of us were clients before. I was in that place about 5 years ago where I was on this same kind of call thinking, holy shit, what am I doing? I imagine some of you might be having that kind of thought. And that's because you're expanding. You're expanding into this unknown, never before seen version of yourself that is so exciting. Because remember, this feeling of fear is just excitement without the breath. So my advice for you would be to keep breathing, keep moving, and keep leaning into your coaching sessions, to showing up on these calls, to raising your hands when you're here. Like, get here, raise your hand, say like, wow, I'm stuck, or I have a question, or I'm working on this thing and I need help. When you raise your hand and you reach out and you ask for support, the support is here. The structure is here for you. We are all behind you. And I'm just so excited to welcome you onto this next stage of your adventure for your life and your business.
Let's give Megan sparkles. We're so excited to keep learning from you, Megan, this year. We're so thrilled to have you with us. Shayna James, what about you? Let's get you up here sharing. Shayna.
Oh, it's so amazing to see your faces. And what I want you to know is that this is your time. This is the right time, right, for you to be doing this, for you to be building your business. And there is always a way. So I love in the words of our fearless leader, Sage Levine, it's all problem solvable. And so anytime you find yourself stuck in one of those stories or mindset of, well, if it hasn't happened for me for the last 10 years, then it's not going to happen. Or, well, last time it didn't go well. And so this time, I can't tell you how many women over the years I've coached who, before a launch, right, go into the fear, the panic. How is it going to go? What if this doesn't work out right? And on the other side, there are incredible successes, right? Whether it goes the way you thought it would or not, there are always successes to celebrate. And so I really want you each to celebrate every win you have and every action you take, and know that it's always problem solvable. And like Megan said, we are here with you. So lean on us, use your coaching, come to the calls. We are here with you.
Shayna, thank you. Can we give sparkle fingers to Shayna? You're going to be seeing a lot of Shayna in your Facebook groups and on sessions. Shayna's probably been with us the longest of all the coaches. Shayna literally helped me create the leverage content. And Shayna is a single mom, entrepreneur extraordinaire. She's got her own incredible business supporting men. Shayna, we're so excited to have you with us. Claire Quee, let's get you up here. You guys remember Claire from last week dancing and her Instagram success. Claire, what would your words of wisdom be for our sisters?
Thanks, Sage. I want just to remind everybody that the frequency of excitement and fear are the same. And I just remember, just like Megan was saying, that the first time I made this scary investment, it felt so like, oh, how? And what I want to just reassure you of is the way to actually move forward to get your goals is to tap into your commitment and recommitment regularly, like every day. And what I do know, looking back at the decision that felt scary and exciting at the same time, was that it was so worth it. It was so worth it. And you're in that same place too. And we have got you. It's going to be so worth it.
I love it. Thank you, Claire. Sparkle fingers for Claire. And if you guys put the screen on active speaker mode, you will be able to see the speaker who's coming on next. Shannon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Serena's actually serving one of our clients right now, so she may be running a few minutes late. And I think we've got everybody for now. Am I forgetting anybody?
We're
I
good.
just want to add a few words. Can I jump in?
Yes.
So ladies, there's another thing that I want to speak to you about that feels really important. Our calls are rich. You are going to learn a lot on every single call, but you don't need to learn everything. So I want to give all of you perfectionists and all of you super active learners, and those of you who think you've got to get 100% and you've got to do it all, to just take off the mantle of perfection and having to really learn everything. I want you to commit to coming to the calls with the intention to hearing the one thing that's most important for you and your business, the one thing that's going to help you take the next action step, and to hear the arc of the training as okay, this is where I'm going, this is where I am, this is the thing for me to focus on and prioritize. So as soon as you start to feel overwhelmed, I'm going to circle back to overwhelm. As soon as you feel that overwhelm coming on, that's your signal to take a big breath and give yourself permission to focus on that one income producing activity. Okay. And I love the ones in you who are the perfectionists, but I also want to speak to what's true in this time of pandemic and sheltering in place, is that we all have to lower the bar of our expectations of ourselves. So please treat yourselves really lovingly. Think of this time when you are getting on calls as sacred space, that this is a time for you to actually relax and listen and open your heart and be focused on your business. Listen to the trainers, listen to your sisters, and really keep your heart open to what's the one thing that's mine to take action on from this call. And keep a running log. What's the one thing from this call? Circle the one thing, highlight it. When you get into your member portal, there's going to be a library. We do not want you to learn everything in a library. We want you to come to your calls and learn what you're being taught on the calls. And then with your coach, if you're in a place where there's something else that you're needing to take the next action step that's right for you, your coach is going to help you find what you need in the library. Or if you're hungry for something and it's in between your coaching session and a call, you can go into that library and look. But remember, it's legitimately a library. This is not your curriculum. Okay, so can I get a twinkle finger agreement? I am going to look for my one next action step. Okay. Mwah. I love you all. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you. Thank you for being so kind to yourselves on the journey.
Spoken like a true business bodhisattva. Can we give a mic drop to Deborah? And can you see why we have hired the coaches we've hired? Can you see it? You guys feel held? Every one of our coaches. Highly vetted, highly competent.
Oh, sorry, Sage. There was
go for it.
I want to jump in, and I want to just say something about your libraries, because I know there's a couple questions. So last week when we were at the event and we said your library is going to be immediate access, normally that's totally true, but because, like Sage said at the beginning of the call, we have built a really amazing platform for you. We've upgraded for all of you. It's taking us a little bit longer than we thought to get it going. So if you've been asking about the library and when you get access to it, you're going to get that as soon as you get access to your members site. It's all being put in there in the most organized fashion. And we're super excited to get that to you.
You are going to be so excited to get access to your forum, and trust me when I say it will be worth the few extra days wait. And I'm going to show you guys how to get started today with your bonus courses. There's plenty of things you guys could get started on. Also, just remember that any content that you guys get in September is bonus content. Your program starts in October. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? Like your program starts in October. You guys get support for 12 months starting October 1st. So we just wanted to basically fill in the dead space. We didn't want there to be a gap. We wanted to hold you in the love, inspirational action net of Women Rocking Business from the moment you made that decision all the way through the year. So just know that really here we are, right? Getting to eat the icing on the cake. So sisters, I just want to make sure that we are tracking with our 5 action steps here. We're going to wrap these up. You guys have the 5 action steps. Number 1, get organized. Number 2, stay out of overwhelm. Overwhelm is a choice. Write that down. You get to choose away from overwhelm when it happens. That's what Deborah was speaking into. Number 3, get connected. I'm going to move this in a moment. Number 4, take the coaching. Can you see them? And number 5 is, drum roll, please. Number 5 is continue to get clear on your message. For those of you in leadership, you still may be landing on your message. For those of you in leverage, we want to get you considering and thinking about how to continue to up-level your message in a way that's really going to allow you to step out of time for dollar. Because without a clear message, it's very tricky to scale. We have one more incredible coach that just hopped on, and Serena is an incredible example of someone who has really continued to get clear on her own message so that she can scale. She just sold out her, what was it, Serena, 3rd, 4th, 5th iteration of your group program, helping women tell their true life stories. Serena, let's celebrate you and hear one or two sentences of advice, encouragement for the women you're going to be coaching and leading this year.
Oh, it's so good to be here, Sage. I'm so behind taking the coaching because after 6 years of delivering my online, my virtual program that was with people all in my own community, I had to pivot online just like many of you are. And it was the coaching that I got from Sage and from Megan that allowed me to take my signature program online and fill it this year. So take the coaching from women who walked in the steps that you all want to take. And it's just an honor to be here with you, Sage and Shannon and Deborah as part of the team.
Thank you so much for hopping on to say hi to everybody, Serena. I think you've actually gotten to hear from all of our coaches now, and that's something that we're really adamant about, is that you guys know our coaches. And I'm curious, how many of you would love to have a coach helping you coach your clients someday? Right? So it's really fun to get to see how we structure this so that you can start to see how that happened, how that happens, and start to bring in support as your business grows. Okay, nice deep breath, everyone. Nice big exhale. As we are talking about clarifying your message, the first place I'm going to recommend you go is your bonus course, Make Money with Your Message. And the way that you access that bonus course is that you be sure to sign your agreement with us. So if you haven't gone into your email and looked for this particular email that subject line literally says signature requested, that's the subject line you're looking for. And then you'll be clicking, for many of you, that's the Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy agreement. For many of you, it's the leverage. You'll be clicking on that link to sign your agreement to let us know that you are indeed committed for the year with us, and we will get you access to your bonus courses. So you can sign that agreement while you're on with us or right after you get off today, and we'll have your bonus courses delivered to you in your inbox by the end of the day as soon as you sign that contract. And so I want to invite you to, once you have signed that contract and you're able to get into your bonus courses, what's going to happen is you're going to sign in and you're going to see a course that looks like this, with crazy videos of me. I can never quite master the art of creating thumbnails with a perfect smile, but that's okay. I think one of the goals of making videos is to make as crazy of faces as possible. This is your Make Money with Your Message niche clarity training. And what I would recommend is you guys scroll down and you guys are going to see the message clarity workbook that we were talking about last week. And when you click on that message clarity workbook, it's going to look a little bit something like this. And there are some really powerful reflection exercises in here for you to go through so that you can really continue to flush out the results-oriented language that allows you to get clients and also to scale your brand. We're going to recommend that you take a few minutes to fill in these life reflection questions if you haven't already. They're similar to some of the questions that you got in your workbook last week. We're also going to recommend that you head over to our favorite step number 7. This is Serena and I's favorite step of the workbook, and it's called a client contribution brainstorm. And this is going to prompt you to really brainstorm about the problems that your clients struggle with, the feelings, the emotions that they go through, and the solutions, the longings that they crave. And what happens when you do that is it takes you through this process of really, first of all, getting a handle on some really effective marketing language. And for those of you that might be considering a couple of different niches right now, you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe I could work with moms. Maybe I could work with women who are struggling with, not sleeping well at night, right? Like you've got a couple of different groups of people that are floating around your mind. Raise your hand if you've been playing around with several different groups of people. Anybody here in that category? So filling out this brainstorm is really going to help you kind of do a reality check, right? Okay, like if I'm struggling with moms, let's actually sit down and consider what they're going through for a few minutes. And is that really what I want to help people with? If I'm helping women find their soulmate or find the perfect relationship, what are the kinds of conversations I'm going to be having with people, right? What are their challenges? What are their longings? And filling out that brainstorming sheet can really help you to get some clarity around, oh, one of these just lights up for me. I could see myself in this conversation ongoingly. I want to actually say something right now about choosing a niche, choosing a message. That is probably the most important thing I'm going to say today. And that is that I know it's going to be hard to believe me when I say this, but it truly just does not matter that much what you choose. It matters that you choose. Take a breath into that. It doesn't really matter what you choose. It matters that you choose and you get yourself committed to those humans and you spend the time to get to know them. What are they thinking? What goes on in their heads? Because I was just literally on a call with Marcy Scheimoff, who helps people create miracles in their life, Dr. Sue Morter, who helps people with their mindset and their health and energy medicine, and Claire Zammit, who helps women claim their power, and Ocean Robbins, who has started a food revolution. I'm on the call with these 5 thought leaders, and you want to know what percentage of our lives is pretty much the same as each other? like 98%. Like the things that I'm doing and the things that Ocean's doing and the things that Claire is doing to get their message out and to do their businesses, the action steps we're taking are the same. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? We're speaking from our hearts. We care about people. We're making videos. We're getting creative with our marketing. We're leading Zoom calls. We're talking about content that's slightly different. But you know what? We're all here to wake people up. So rather than lamenting about this choice for many, 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 many weeks, we're going to challenge you. For those of you that aren't clear yet, we are going to challenge you to get clear within that first coaching session and within the first few weeks of the program, so that when you show up for that November retreat, you're clear. You know what you're doing, and we are off to the races all year long, setting you up for success, because I would so much rather you have decided, I'm here to help moms. I'm here to help women who are professionals who are struggling with stress. I'm here to help women sleep better at night. I would so much rather that you decide and you go get some clients, and then you change your mind next year and you can pick a different niche. But I would so much rather that you get the value from this program by choosing a niche and going for it. Here's how it went down for me. I was a life purpose coach. I helped women get clear on the purpose for their life. I spent a couple years studying it. I spent time talking to my friends about how they knew what they wanted to do with their life. And in the process of doing that, there was one point, first of all, where I didn't have enough clients. And one of my friends hired me to work for her training company. And I started leading women to find their soulmate, because at the time I was in a really healthy relationship. So I had a few clients that were getting their clarity around their life purpose. And then I had a handful of clients that were all finding their soulmate. And then, this is a true story, I realized that my favorite clients to work with were my clients that were searching for their purpose clarity, but they were starting businesses. So I started helping them figure out how to start their business. Meanwhile, I was investing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in my own education to learn how to start my own business. So true story, there was a time in my career where I had about 24 clients. A third of them were coming to me for purpose clarity, a third for finding their soulmate, and a third for starting their business. Was it a little bit chaotic? Yes. But you know what? I helped them all. And anytime I chose a different niche, I would get clients. And so what happened is it was like a blaring light in my face. Choose a niche and you'll get rich. Don't choose a niche and life is fill in the blank, right? So your coaches are going to be helping you. The next few weeks can be your inquiry into who are these people that I'm here to help. And many of you already have clarity. And so your job is going to be to dive into that Make Money with Your Message course and use the clarity you already have to continue to flush out awesome results-oriented language so you can grow and scale your business. I want to show you two more things, and then Shannon's going to pop up a sticker in the Facebook pages so that you guys can actually start practicing your mission statements. I'm going to show you where the mission statement lives here in your workbook. You'll find that it's on page 16. You've got some really great blueprints for creating your own mission statement, a mission statement that passes the FACE test. All right, so this is something that many of you will want to work on. You know who you are. Those of you that are still kind of getting clarity on who your people are. Shannon's going to start a post so that the coaches can be giving you feedback on your mission statements as you get clear. But make a note here, you guys, that your mission statement is really a recipe for the purpose of your business. It's a single sentence long, and it's in 12-year-old language. It's simple language that everybody will understand. And as you start to craft your mission statement, you're going to want to consider a simple statement that could be in the form of who you work with, who you teach, who you empower. What do they struggle with? What are their emotions? What do they want to create instead? And can you see how this language is actually going to get repeated through your videos? It's going to get repeated through social media posts. There's also some examples. Everybody's always like, well, how do I answer the question? What do I do? How do I answer that question? There's several templates in here to help you answer that question. I have a 5-step system that takes single moms who are struggling with a lot of chaos in their home and managing their children and their jobs and their lives. I have that 5-step system that helps single moms go from chaos to a peaceful home and a peaceful life in just 5 months. Can you see how that gives a little bit of structure, right? Provides some structure, right? I have a 6-step system. I have an 8-step system. And don't worry, we're going to help you develop and keep building out that system next week on the VIP day. There's a template here that's the I help style, right? I help women who are struggling with their hormones to have such and such result in 90 days or less, right? Putting a time frame on it gives you a lot of professionalism. And then there's another example that's just like a I coach, I mentor, I teach style. Now, I want to warn you, I want to make a warning before Shannon does the screen share. The warning is that it doesn't make a lot of sense to overly wordsmith these statements. Because the truth is that when somebody asks you what you do, it's going to come out of your mouth a little bit differently every single time. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Remember that something like 20 to 30% of communication is actually the exact words you use, and the majority of communication is your energy. And so we would rather you choose some words that are simple, that you can start to commit to memory, but that you're actually coming from a place of putting the energy behind the words and not being scripted. Okay, so we give you those frameworks as a way to start to work with who you are and what you do, right? So you can work with that in your coaching sessions, you can work with that in these programs. But trust me when I say we're not going to spend a lot of time helping you wordsmith, because I can promise you it does not matter. What matters is that you're willing to get out there and be in the moment and bring certainty and confidence to the results that you want to provide. So Shannon, let's show them where they can practice their mission statement drafts.
It's coming up here. Just slow. There it is. Can you guys see that? You're going to go into your Facebook group. And you're going to see this blue post. And it's going to we're going to give you a thumbs up for posting here. So in the comments, you're going to click in and put in your face test passing mission statement draft, and we're going to give you a thumbs up on it. So go into your groups and look for this blue post.
And there you go, there it comes.
Are you guys seeing it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Here it is.
Here, I'll pop it up so it's big. Yeah, so you guys head over into your leadership and leverage Facebook posts or Facebook groups. And again, this is a draft. See how Shannon wrote draft in big letters? This is one of the action steps we invite you to take today, because your coaches and your other sisters are going to be in there giving you feedback. And this is also a great way that you guys can find what we call niche mates. By the way, we don't consider women in these programs who have the same niche as you competitors. We consider them niche mates. Do you guys love that term, niche mates? Because if you work with, if you are a parenting coach and you work with parents, how cool is it going to be to find another sister in the programs that also works with parents, right? Because you guys can hop on the line and support each other. You want to know some of the people that I get the best ideas from and that I give the best ideas to? Ryan Eliason and Marisa Murgatroyd, who are both conscious business coaches. Like, I call those guys up and those guys call me on a weekly basis. They're on speed dial in my phone. And when they call and I'm on my way to the dentist, they need something, I pick up the phone, because there aren't that many people on the planet that can help each other in the same way that Marisa Murgatroyd and Ryan Eliason and myself can help each other. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? So make friends with your niche mates. Very hot success tip. Tracy Blem says, I mentor soul-driven women entrepreneurs with big dreams to put structures in place to back up their miracle moments so they can balance their businesses with their personal lives. I love it. Beautiful. Again, you guys can post something today, like a draft, a sloppy copy of your mission statement. And as you keep refining it, you can go back in there and edit it and make it better and better and better and better and add new ones, add new versions. Marcia Daly says, I'm committed to inspiring midlife women to defy society's view of aging by teaching them image enhancing and life skills. Marcia, I love that. I might see if you can find a simple way to say image enhancing. I think that I would want to potentially understand a little bit more, inspiring midlife women to defy society's view of aging by giving them tools to age gracefully or something like that, like simple. Remember that the more simple these are and the more we can track with you and the more you can actually connect the dots, the more likely it is that people are going to start engaging and asking you questions about them. Okay, so as you guys are working on those, I'm actually going to have Deborah just show you one more quick thing, and that is the encouragement to start to go out there and talk to the potential clients that you are looking to work with.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the potential client interviews. Sage, did you have that to pop up?
I'm on it.
Awesome.
I got you.
So this is page 19 in that Make Money with Your Message handbook that we were just going through. And for those of you who haven't yet worked with clients and you don't exactly know your client's language, this is going to be really important, because one of the things for you all to remember is that marketing is relational. This business building endeavor that you are on is all about relationships. And relationships at the foundation is about knowing each other. It's about being curious about each other. It's about knowing, how do we feel and what do we want? So when you are talking to your potential ideal clients, you want to be ideally using their language. You want to be using the words they're using to describe the pain that they're feeling, the struggles they're having, the experiences they're having, and the solutions they are looking for. The fastest way to be successful on this journey is to use your client's language about how they're suffering and what they're wanting. So I want to encourage every single one of you, even if you already have clients and you are, refining your game, get in conversation with some folks and use this potential client interview structure to ask them and just take super diligent notes. Go back through the notes from conversations you've had with clients when they're talking about what they're struggling with. When you're doing grow conversations, be sure you're tracking their language. So I want to invite everybody to prioritize this potential client interview. Get 3 to 5 women on your, or if you're working with men, but get 3 to 5 of your potential ideal clients on your calendar and have this conversation with them. Invite them into sharing their hearts about what's hard in their life, the pain that they're experiencing, what they're wanting instead. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, sisters, let's hear from a couple of you and get you some feedback on your mission statements. And I do want to add, raise your hand if you notice you maybe have just a little bit of resistance coming up to spending a lot of time doing potential client interviews. Anybody? Any resistance to actually going out there and doing those? Thank you for admitting it. This is really important. People love to be interviewed. They love it. Overall, in my experience, they love it. We've actually had women come back from potential client interviews and be like, oh my gosh, I did a potential client interview and they hired me, right? But this is not you recruiting a client. This is you saying, hey, I'm thinking about working with moms and mentoring moms. And I've always seen you as a mom who is awesome, who loves her kids, who does a great job, right? And acknowledge them, right? Just like Deborah was saying. Acknowledge them, compliment them, let them know that that's why you would be so honored to just have 15 minutes of their time to understand a little bit more what it's like to be them. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get things in their words, just like Deborah said, write this down. It's client speak. Whenever we can get your client's words, it's usually 10 times better than your words. And I say that with total love. Because, you know, we've had some of the most incredible marketing copy come out of surveys that we've done of you guys, right? It was you guys that actually said, I surveyed people like, gosh, 9 months ago or something. And I couldn't believe how many of my community said, I hate sales. I want to help people, but I hate sales. They used the H word. And so one of my Facebook ads for this past event, the Rock Your Online Sales Retreat, one of the Facebook ads, the first line was, I hate sales. And guess what? That was one of our top performing ads. I wouldn't have known to use that word. Hate is a strong word. But my community in general oftentimes does feel that way. Some of you already are warming up to sales. Some of you like sales, and now you're just ready to learn how to do it better. Right? And how to do it more authentically. But very powerful to have it in their words, very powerful to spend the time to do some potential client interviews. And we've had clients come back to us and say, I did 2 potential client interviews and I don't think these are my clients. Better to know now, right? We had a client last year say, I started interviewing people that struggle with depression. And I realized I don't want to work with depressed people. I want to work with people that are really ready to transform their depression. And so she changed her languaging to transform depression into a sense of purpose and passion. And then she interviewed people that she knew had a shadow side, but they had found their purpose. And that's when she got the best marketing language. And she started to find people that were actively wanting to transform that depression. Super helpful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hear a couple of your mission statements before we wrap things up by giving you your final challenge for the day. There will be one more challenge. Let's hear from Kimberly White, practicing your mission statement. Are you ready to practice your mission statement, Kimberly?
Sure. My mission statement is to coach experienced, exhausted leaders to transform their midlife, or not midlife, to transform it into more mission driven.
Okay, so to coach experienced but exhausted leaders to transform into mission driven leadership?
Leadership, yes. It's clunky still.
Yeah, that's why you raised your hand. I'm glad you did. So are these leaders, are they leaders in professional organizations? Are they entrepreneurs? Is there a way to hone it in a little bit more? Because the truth is I consider myself a leader, and so does my friend Terry, who works inside of a corporation. And the two of us have we're in a quite different conversation about what we need, right?
Yeah, who I work with and have worked with and continue to work with, actually I've got somebody here, I'm kicking off their team tonight, is they're within an organization.
Awesome.
So I work within corporate America.
Great.
And
so
also, I mean, outside of that is somebody who is, well, anyways, that's my focus and has been for years. It's where my passion is.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining you might want to say something like, I work with leaders and organizations who have created a lot of success on paper, but there's something still missing. I help them get truly aligned with their mission so that they can create their dream jobs within that organization, be truly effective, and even move up the corporate ladder.
Yeah. So, and on that, often who I'm working with is a COO or a COO.
Great. I work with leaders in organizations like COOs and CEOs, right? Maybe HR managers, right? Who have a lot of success on paper, but there's still something missing. There's still something they're looking for, that next level of support.
Yeah. And I love your wording. And so this last week I've been testing out this messaging that, I resource really experienced, impactful leaders so that they can continue. They're kind of burned out
Yeah. So that's another level of clarity. So I work with leaders and organizations, leaders like COOs and CEOs who have given everything to their careers.
Yeah.
And who are suffering the consequences. I help them get re-resourced and realigned with their mission. I think now we're on it.
Oh my gosh, you'll love this. This was just to share with everybody so they can see my craziness. But this was what showed up, because what you just said. So it's resourced, realigned. I had like re-elevate, re-amplify, re-engage, re-inspired, reignited, reimagined, redefined, reclaimed.
I love that you are an example of somebody who's doing her homework. You're printing it out. You're writing all over it. I highly recommend you guys do that. Do that tonight. Do that while you're feeling the inspiration. Get into your bonus courses, print stuff out, write all over it, and find those words. And, that word, I help them get realigned and re-resourced so that, right, realigned with their mission, resource, right, so that they can get back in the game, establish balance in their personal life, love their lives again, be more effective at work.
Yeah, and so thank you, because it's like I've been on this verge of it, right? And for 10 years I've shied away from ever stating it. I just played in it, and it's been like, girl on fire over here. So
I love it.
The process that you're putting out there, just like, it just comes up underneath me. And one thing I want to leave the group with that I had never considered in all the years of being out there and work and raising kids and all that stuff was that I needed to be resourced. Like, I never, ever considered that I needed to be filled up. And that's why I'm here. That's why I committed to the year here.
Beautiful.
So just thank you. And it's like, woo! It's like,
and we teach what we need to learn, right? And then we become our own worst clients, but at least we're doing it. And every time we teach it, we get to remind ourselves. Kiss for Kimberly, mwah, sparkle for Kimberly. I love that. I love the clarity here that you're diving into. Charisse, let's get you on. It was such an honor to meet you last week, sweetie, and thanks for going so deep with us. Do you guys remember Charisse from last week?
I'm so excited to be here. So I think mine might be a bit clunky as well. Though I feel like just being at the 3-day virtual event, I've already clarified it quite a bit from talking to you. So I empower soulpreneurs to remember the wild essence of their soul, get aligned and step into spiritual leadership so they can create the impact they deserve and elevate collective consciousness.
I like it. It's a really good start.
Too long.
Well, again, it's going to come out of your mouth different each time. What I'm also doing with your niche, and for every single one of you guys, we're going to be encouraging you guys to work on this. And we're going to be doing more work on it next week in the VIP day. We're going to encourage you guys to continue to test your market, test your group for marketability. And so what I know about people that kind of consider themselves soulpreneurs, right? Conscious entrepreneurs, is that one of the things they really want to do is they really want to invest in business training. And so if you're wanting to stay in the leadership conversation, we just want to position that, right? So that you can attract your people and they will invest. And I'm curious, are you willing, as you learn to grow your business, are you willing to help them with business strategy, or do you want to stay in more of the leadership conversation?
I'm definitely willing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that position now.
Right. And so one of the things that you may want to do, Charisse, is to consider working with people just like a little bit earlier in their stage. And this is I'm glad I actually pulled you back up here. I had a hit that the conversation I'd be in with you would serve everybody. And I think this is going to serve everybody, because what we want to make sure that we do for every single one of you is we want to make sure we choose a niche that you feel really comfortable with. Right. And so for me, I didn't know how to help people start businesses when I had never really done that for myself. But I was able to help people get clear on their passions. I was able to help people get clear on what experiences in their life lit them up the most. By the way, for any of you who are dancing around this conversation of helping people get more on purpose, raise your hand if that's something you're going to be doing. You're going to be helping people get more on purpose, get more in touch with their passions. There's a book you're probably going to want to get. It's called True Purpose by Tim Kelly. Write that down. True Purpose by Tim Kelly. Tim's a friend of mine. I really think this book is the most effective book at actually helping somebody clarify their purpose in one single book. And I used that book when I was coaching people around getting clear on their purpose and their passions. I used the exercises in that book. I would adapt some of them. One of them I just used straight out of the book, and I told my clients, hey, I'm using this from Tim's book. It's a fantastic exercise. Don't be afraid to borrow exercises when you guys are working with your clients. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. But Charisse, you may want to consider working with people who want to bring their soul and their highest sense of purpose into a business, but they're not quite sure what that looks like, what they're meant to be doing with their life, or what that business is. And that way you're supporting them at the stage where they really need someone to sit down with them and help them get clear and help them assess their life and their experiences and their talents and their gifts and what they're good at. Right. And that way that's a level of the journey that my story about you is that you've done a lot of searching in your life. You're not afraid of the search, and you're not afraid to ask yourself the hard questions. You're not afraid of the emotions that come up or the tenderness, right? And those are the kinds of things that you'll be helping your clients with as more of a soul purpose coach, kind of getting them ready to clarify the purpose of their career or their business path.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the main thing that I'm feeling called at this stage for what I feel like my calling is to, as you say, like I want to create an impact, but a collective impact. So I want to help people create an impact, if that makes sense.
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is how you start. You start one person at a time, and you have no idea what this thing can grow into in 3 years or 5 years. But to start to get on the inside of that conversation, I would pick up that book, True Purpose by Tim Kelly, and I would do some potential client interviews with folks who have with folks who are actively searching, or who have been in that category of finding their purpose and searching to find it.
Cool.
All right. Sparkle fingers for Charisse. Kiss. Mwah. All right, you guys, we have about 10 minutes left, and we want to launch a challenge for you. How many of you saw the value of making a video last week? awesome, right? Because you're just freaking taking off the training wheels. You're not waiting too long to go out there and do it and, you know, get practice in front of the camera. And how many of you would love to have a chance to win coaching sessions with our coaches, and maybe even win a session where you could use that session with any of our coaches? We call those a gold pass session. It's pretty awesome. They're very valuable and they're very rare, but we are going to be giving out a couple of them to our video contest winners. In a moment, Shannon's going to be describing what you can do when you make the video to enter the challenge. And again, if you're just starting out and you're like, oh my gosh, this is all so new, any video will do. Get on video and tell us what you got. But for those of you that want to take it one step further and actually make a video that you could use to get clients, play around with that. Like, you're going to make the video and put it in the leadership Facebook group or the leverage Facebook group. But for those of you that would like to play around with making a video that you can repurpose, raise your hand if you'd like to play around just in the next week, a video that you could actually repurpose and pop it up on social media and use it to book a discovery session. That's what Shannon's going to be teaching you to do. Shannon, you want me to pull that up, or do you want to pull that up?
Got it. Let's see here. You guys seeing it?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to want to grab this handout. It's our 2-minute offer handout. So we want you to do these imperfect videos like Sage is talking about. And this is an example outline of it. So the first thing you're going to do in your 2 minutes is you're going to start with an engaging question or an intention, something to grab your audience's attention. So do you struggle with leadership? Are you a CEO or COO struggling with leadership and taking the next level? You want to start with an engaging question. Next, you want to do something that brings credibility. So you can say something like, I've surveyed my clients, or I've looked out into the world and identified this problem. You want to speak from a place of knowing and authority to establish your credibility here and give them a picture of what's possible. And then you want to tell them what that led you to discovering. So that's the solution that you're bringing them. So this is where you tell them exactly what that solution is. And remember, it doesn't need to be wordy. It doesn't need to be flowery. Simple language is really key here. Make it as simple as possible. Paint the picture for them of the possibility with your solution. The last thing you're going to end with is your call to action. Always, always, always have a very clear call to action. Do not skip over this part. Save the moment for a strong, confident call to action. This is where you're going to offer a discovery session or your free gift. Maybe they need to hop into your Facebook group to get your free gift. Something for them to take action on and do. Make it super clear for them. Reiterate it a few times as well. So let me stop screen share here. 2-minute videos are just a great way to start getting visible right now and to practice. We're going to give you some feedback on them. You want to make sure to time yourself. And I really recommend that you have Sage and I used to make videos in her living room many years ago. And we used to put a phone up on a stand and we would have a very simple bulleted outline taped right underneath the camera. So you can just see these pieces. And then you want to set your timer or clock that you can see and look straight into the camera like I'm doing right now. And just imagine your people there and speak directly to them. Be natural. You can be totally personal right there.
Beautiful. And in order to officially enter the contest, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to make the video, and then what are you going to do for 3 of your sisters? What are you going to do? You're going to love them up and give them feedback. What do you see in them? If their video was confusing at any point, raise your hand if you would want to know about that. Raise your hand if you're ready to eat feedback for breakfast. Okay. So Shannon, when we put up the homework posts, let's make sure that we remind that we're going to challenge you guys. You have 1 week to make your video, and give 3 sisters acknowledgments and feedback. Shannon, will you add and feedback? Because getting feedback from your sisters is going to be the most valuable part of this exercise. Raise your hand if you're willing to play in an entrepreneurial laboratory. And take the time, it'll take you 10 minutes to go watch at least 3 videos and really watch those videos. This is one of the huge pieces of value of these courses. Can you feel it, you guys? Take the time to watch 3 videos and think to yourself, is there something she could have said that would have been even more magnetic or even more compelling? Is there somewhere during the video where she lost me? And then raise your hand if you're, no kidding, really willing to not take that personally. Because your sisters are here to make you better. Okay. So that being said, many of you have written in and said that you're ready to keep growing your Facebook groups, because I talked a lot about Facebook groups last week. So for those of you, take a breath, that are like, yeah, I'm full. I'm going to work on my mission statement. I'm going to work on my video. I'm good. I'll see you next week, Sage. Just so you know, you can totally check out right now if you want to. The next thing I do want to let you know is there is a resource, because quite a few of you emailed in with questions about Facebook groups. Now, obviously, we're going to be getting into Facebook groups in more detail next week. And obviously, many of you know a lot about Facebook groups because you've been in the Launch Your Movement training with us. But I did want to make sure to get you guys access to our Facebook groups resource handout. It's in the Leverage and ELA private Facebook forums, so you guys can go download those. It's in your files section. And for those of you that are eager, you're like, I'm ready. What am I doing in my group? I want to start leveling people up. There's some great tips in that handout. We're going to dive into more details next week. Okay, we are going to wrap up this call, this opening ceremony, by inviting you guys to make a commitment to yourselves. So we're going to move into a little sacred moment together. Nice deep breath. Reach your arms up over your head. Nice big exhale. Shannon's going to put up a reminder of what you're doing for homework. You're going to work on your mission statements. You're going to work on your video and giving each other feedback. And don't forget, you guys, to go find a couple of practice buddies. Okay? Everyone on the Leadership and Leverage Facebook groups are now free game for you to send a message to and say something like, hey, I love what you're up to. Would you like to hop on a quick chat, right? Or send people a private message. And this can be a vulnerable part of the program because you're putting yourself out there, but raise your hand if you're willing to do that, because that's what a leader does. Yeah. And the women who are here are amazing. You're going to want to know them. And there will be women that you get closer to, and there will be women that maybe you don't get as close to, and that's okay. You're just going to keep reaching out so that you have plenty of people to connect with. All right. And we also are going to encourage you next week to continue to grab a more official buddy. And on the VIP day, we'll be describing how to get started with more official buddies and buddy assignments with people. Okay. So in a moment, I'm going to pull up a song that happens to be Deborah Artura's favorite leadership song. And the reason why Deborah and I love this song so much is because this song is a reminder that you're not doing this alone. Who here would be willing to step into a practice over the next few months of really kind of turning your life over to the universe and allowing universal energy to channel through you as your business, and to really look at where you're trying to control, right? Perfectionism, let go of that and let that move through you. So we are going to listen to the song together for about a minute, and then I'm going to invite you to pull up your commitment handout. This was also in Facebook. And I'm going to ask a few of you to help me by reading one sentence of the commitment handout. So this is the handout I'm talking about. For those of you that want to grab it so you can follow along, please download it out of the Facebook group. And we'll have some of you guys walk us through that so that we can all speak those commitment statements. We're going to start with a reminder to lift our lives up. And as you listen to the words of this song, I'm going to invite you to breathe and move your body, place your hand on your heart, however feels natural to you.
You brought me this far, so why would I question you now? You have provided, so why would I start to doubt? I've never been stranded, abandoned, or left here to fight alone. So I'm giving you control.
And whatever your religious belief, this is the process of giving this over to the universe, letting the universe have its way with you. Put your hands up if it feels right. Let yourself feel this opportunity to get out of your own way so you can be a channel.
I follow now, wherever the road may go. I know you're leading me home.
Is that this is not really about you. This is about your clients. This is about you giving yourself over to that which the universe has asked you to show up for. Take our lives, universe, and let them be in honor of those who we are here to serve. All of our dreams, all of our plans, we leave them in your hands. What I know is that when we as entrepreneurs can unhook ourselves from the expectations, from the obligations, from thinking that it has to be a certain way, we can liberate ourselves to take the actions. We're going to run just a couple minutes over. If you have to go, we love you. We bless you. We'll see you next week on the VIP day. Raise your hand by putting your actual hand up on the screen if you'd like to read one of the sentences on the commitment handout. Okay, we're going to start with Stephanie. And remember who's before you and who's after you. Then we're going to go to Kimberly. So Kimberly, you're going to go after Stephanie. Then we're going to go to Chantal. Then we're going to go to Shell. And then Audrey. And then Jade. And then let's go to Risa. And let's see how far we get. Stephanie, Kimberly, Chantal, Shell, Audrey, Jade, and Risa. And so I'm going to share this and remind us that there is a commitment quote by Goethe that until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, ineffectiveness. All sorts of things occur when we commit to help you that would otherwise never had occurred. Whatever you can dream, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic. Begin it now. Stephanie.
Congratulations for saying yes to yourself, your dream, your future clients, your impact and income. Read these commitments out loud and try them while looking into a mirror.
And for now, I'm going to invite all of you not to unmute yourself because we'll cause chaos on the line, but I'm going to invite all of you to read alongside the sister who is reading each sentence and let yourself feel the power of the words. You know, Kenlyn Colleen, the world-renowned Kundalini yoga teacher, reminded us last week that our bodies actually love, our nervous systems actually like to hear the sound of our own voices. So this is a commitment to yourself. All right, Kimberly, will you kick us off?
I, Kimberly Auger White, hereby commit to cultivate non-judgmental awareness for myself and my entrepreneurial sisters each day as we stretch ourselves and take the scary steps to grow our business.
Beautiful. Chantal? Chantal, make sure you get yourself unmuted, love. All right, let's go to Shell and we'll scoop back around to Chantal.
I am willing to do whatever it takes and take massive action this year.
Thank you, Shell. Audrey.
I commit to honor where I am developmentally and to stay out of overwhelm by doing one thing at a time.
Jade.
I commit to self-awareness and self-responsibility for my life, my business, and my actions.
Risa.
I commit to celebrating my accomplishments as well as the accomplishments of my fellow tribe and accountability buddies. I am willing to stand for the dreams of my business sisters and remind them who they are and what they are capable of, as I know they will do the same for me.
And how about Chantal? Did we get you unmuted? Are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm sorry, I had to move. I lost my connection. Which one I'm sorry. Which one's
I commit to asking for support. you can wrap us up. This is perfect for you.
I know. I commit to asking for support in the Women Rocking Business Training and to giving it. I commit to receiving the appreciation that is here for me. I commit to taking imperfect action. I know my answers lie in front of me and I'm willing to move towards them, and even when it feels unfamiliar.
And finally, we invite every single one of you to commit to knowing that you were made for such a time as this. We recommend that you do find a place where you can put your signature on that commitment letter, and again, to head over into your email inbox and sign your contracts today so that we can get you into your bonus courses. What an honor to be here with every single one of you. Chantal, we're stoked to have you back, sister. Stoked to have you back. Chantal was with us a few years ago, and it's a real honor to have you back. So, sisters, we are going to invite you to head over into Chantal. Did you want to share? Do you want to share anything since you have been on this incredible journey with Women Rocking Business before? I don't know if her signal's very good. We'll have her share next week. Are you there?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny how it just keeps happening. But at this time, you wanted me to say something, right?
If you'd like to.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. I appreciate this. First of all, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Hi, Sage.
It's awesome to have you back.
I was reflecting on the fact that I was part of your first tele seminar, whatever the thing that you did, like way back then, the first thing you've ever done.
Yeah, my Women on Purpose Telesummit. You were one of the very first 5,000 women to ever do anything with me online.
I know.
2012, I think, 2011.
Yep, that's it. So I guess what I want to share is what I shared with Shannon, that is, I am currently dealing with incurable diagnosis of breast cancer. And okay, I don't want to cry, but I may cry. And I don't dwell on it. I don't think that, I continue to live my life, but this matters to me a lot. I just feel like I have been in many ways wanting to do this, and I've tried in many ways, but for me right now, the time is now. So I am totally up for the challenge and showing up and wanting to be as simple and focused as possible. So I am glad to be here, and thank you.
I wanted to honor you, Chantal. I mean, you were with us, gosh, 6, 7 years ago now as one of our star clients, and you were enrolling. You got diagnosed with breast cancer when you were in our program 7 years ago, and you were literally enrolling your own clients from your hospital bed.
Yeah, I did.
You literally were like, this is not going to keep me down. I am here to live my purpose. And you were taking great care of yourself, and you weren't working long days, and you weren't pushing too hard, but you just kept slowly living your purpose. And when I saw you last week, I thought to myself, she looks amazing. Doesn't she look amazing? Like there's light coming through your face. And what I also know, and I've seen this to be true with 2 colleagues and one of my dear friends, that getting on purpose is one of the most incredible things we can do for our health.
Mm-hmm.
And so you be gentle with yourself, you take care of your body, but I am just touched to the deepest part of me that you want to be a part of this community as you go through this journey, and that you want to keep building your business. And I wanted the other sisters here to know about your commitment, because I think it gives us strength as a community to know what each other is going through, and to remember that we all have hardships and that we're still being called. Can we unmute ourselves and give Chantal and give each other a huge wahoo for the commitment that every single one of you is making? So powerful.
All right.
Thank you,
So
Chantal.
powerful.
Amazing,
Thank you,
Chantal.
Chantal.
Good job.
It is going to be
Much love to you.
it is going to be an absolutely incredible year. Take a nice deep breath. We'll be back together next week. Get the dates in your calendar, sign your contract, work on your mission statement, make your videos. There's a lot of sisters in the Facebook group that are here to help you make your videos. You can make your videos behind your phone, behind your computer. Don't be a perfectionist about those videos. Those videos are supposed to be imperfect. Shannon and Deborah, thank you so much for helping me open the year in this powerful way. You guys can unmute yourself on your way out and let us know one word of what you're walking away with, and we'll see you in your Leverage and Leadership Facebook groups. And don't forget to grab some buddies, some practice buddies, send out some messages today to connect with a few sisters.
2 p.m. call today.
Gratitude.
Encouragement.
Perfect.
Inspiration.
Bye.
Action.
Growth. Breakthrough.
Intention.
All in the group.
It's going to be an amazing year. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.